How's it going, everybody? I wanted to make a video to show the solution that I got for my surging issue and stalling issue that I posted in the video from last week. Last week, I drove my car around. I kind of showed the issue. So if you're curious if your issue is the same as my issue, go watch the video. And about halfway through that video is where it starts surging once it gets hot. And then there's a stall at about, I think it's like 16 minutes, 50 seconds into that video. The car actually stalls while I'm driving it. What I didn't know last week was the reason for the stalling issue. I knew the tune was bad. I mean, that was obvious. But I did more research and I found that it has to do with having a lightweight flywheel. What ends up happening is since your flywheel's lighter, it takes less output to rev the car up and down, but consequently you need more output to maintain an idle. And on top of it, I have a supercharger on the car, so that's more stuff pulling on that crank, but I won't get into the details. But what ends up happening is your car has to be tuned to properly control your throttle output under normal driving conditions. Otherwise, you'll either have too little or too much, and in my case I had too little. And what would happen is I would hit the gas, or I would be driving normal, I would put my clutch in and the car would dive so fast, like the RPMs would dive so fast that it would drop down to like 500 RPMs and the car would stall out. This was not compensated for when my car was tuned. And on a side note, when you get your car tuned, especially if it's a new motor, specifically if it's a new motor and all that stuff, they need to make sure your idle is properly controlled. And in my case, I had a remote tuner doing it. This guy did not remote tune normal driving conditions, just driving and maintaining a speed, putting the clutch in. He never looked at that. This guy basically tuned it so it made power, and that's all they cared about. And if I were to guess, he probably didn't do a whole lot, if not anything, as far as changing the tune once the new motor and supercharger was installed, at least for the idle. So in this video, I'm going to show you in HPTuners exactly the stuff I changed to fix the idle issue, and then I'm going to show you what I posted on HPTuners and the kind of help they actually gave me, which was absolutely nothing. In fact, after the fact, they gave me a tune after I fixed it to fix an issue with starting the car, because when I start my car, it won't hot start, basically, like unless I hold the gas down to start it. And I mentioned that after the fact, after I fixed this problem. The guy sent me a tune. I loaded the tune on the car and it threw like 6 codes for like transmission module not found and all kinds of crap. And it was, I don't know what he did, but the guy effed the tune up. So I ended up loading the old tune that was working properly, and it fixed it. And then I cleared all the codes and it fixed everything. But let's start off with looking at the website on hptuners.com. Give me 2 seconds. HPTuners. And we'll look at that. So this is the HPTuners website, forum. Let's close all this stuff out. Okay. I'll put it on the right side over here so you can see everything. So anyway, Dodge tuning. And mine was, wow, can't find it. Wasn't that long ago. Oh, right here. So I'm like, I basically told them my issue that I just discussed. The car shuts off randomly. It's oscillation of the throttle, 6-speed car, blah, blah, blah. I posted the video that I posted last week on here. So if you want to go watch that video to see what the problem is, you can kind of see. But at 16 minutes, 16:57 is where the car shuts down. You can see I basically just put the clutch in, the car drops off and stalls. And I linked the video, gave him tons of information, gave him the logs, gave him the tune. This dude asked what fuel injectors are in it. Like, that has to do with the problem. I mean, come on. I mean, yeah, like if the not at idle, the fuel injectors would have absolutely nothing to do with it. I'm just saying. So even though I knew that it had nothing to do with that, I gave him all the information. I have 85 pound fuel injector clinic injectors. Yeah. So, anyways, the guy basically says the lightweight flywheel may be your problem. They can be very problematic, and the GM's the exact same scenario. Return to idle. Trying to cure them using the idle adaptive PIDs usually results in a bad overshoot. So instead of completely stalling, you end up with a really bad surge. Okay, dude. It's surging already. You know what I mean? Like, it has no, like, I agreed with them. After I read this, I looked at all the fuel injector information. Or, I'm sorry, all the GM vehicle information. I did a bunch of Google searches, and I was like, okay, that sounds similar to what I have. So he did at least tell me what the problem was. But that, I knew what the solution was without knowing what the problem was. Like, I basically told him what I need to fix. And I said, any resolution to make the ECU more reactive, blah, blah, blah. Am I crazy or can I modify these values? PID control, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, he never helped me after that. You know, a while went by. So that's kind of, we'll just end this part of it here. This is where the guy kind of tells me, gave me a new tune for the hot start, which he gave me some information I can use in a future. I'm going to fix this on my own, but he gave me some information that I can use at least. But the tune he gave me, like, crashed out my computer. Like, I tried to load this and it didn't work. So anyways, I'll show you what I did to fix it. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to load up. I'm going to load up my... This is my old tune. So this is the tune I had that I was running when I made the video last week. So anyways, the fix, you go to engine here. Idle. Right here, airflow. Where's the rest? Okay, it's cut off because I have this not full screened. Let's see. I'll just move it over here on the right. I was like, that doesn't look like what I did. But yeah, it's right here. So anyways, the values I changed was all of this. I upped this initially. So I upped all of these. I'll show you what I changed. But anyways, I changed this table. This table. This table. I believe I put values in it. It had nothing in it before. Well, I'm gonna pull up the new tune, so we'll be able to check it. So multiply, high, all of these I ignored because these are just, this is like multiplying these values by a value. So you can just change them here. And derivative drive and derivative PN. PN stands for park neutral. So that would be like when I put my clutch in, would be like neutral, you know what I mean? Or park. Proportional drive, proportional park neutral, I modified. Now I want to point something out here that was wild right from the beginning. These kind of look okay, but this one right here, look at this table. This is what the tuner gave me. Why would these all be zeros and then a -4 right here at -150? It's like the guy was eating or like he started working on it and then he decided to go to lunch and then he came back and he forgot to finish the table or something. Like Arrington Performance. Dude, what's wild is you go on their reviews and everyone's like, the tuner at Arrington Performance is amazing. Like, bro, he didn't even complete this table. Bro, I just... Okay. Integral drive, I believe we changed. And I'll show you something here that you can do in HPTuners. What you can do is open compare file. And I'm going to show you this one. So right here, everything in green is what's changed on the new one. So if you hit this button here, I think show compare file. See, okay, right here. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Oh god. One's open right now. So if you hit this button right here, show differences, it shows you the difference in values. So I'm just gonna show you straight up the differences that I changed. Like when it says 4, it's not actually 4. That's the difference of the old value. So I modified all of these by like, I think it was 20% or 15%. And that pretty much fixed it. Like these are significantly different. And this is torque per RPM air. So like if you're, basically it's saying like, if you're off by 150, then it gives more output on the pedal, etc. And I basically smoothed this out, and I made it a little more aggressive because before it wasn't aggressive enough. So I think this is the table that they didn't even, he just had the -4 in there, so I changed all of this. But anyway, I'll go to show. Yeah, this one's all at 40. See. So you see here, this was just -4, I think at 150, and I kind of added to it and I smoothed it out, and that seemed to, I left these 22 because I didn't want to overkill this value down here if it's off by 1,000. But yeah, and honestly, I also I reverted back to this tune, but I experimented with upping these to about 45 each, and it made a huge difference. But there was a little bit of oscillation while it was sitting idle, so I brought it back down. But you can kind of see, and in a future video, I'll drive it around and show you the difference. But I'm telling you right now, the car doesn't stall anymore. It drives so much better in gear. Like it gives itself more power output when you're just riding in gear. So you know, this is all you really have to change. Let me show the actual show compare file. So these are the new values that are here, and then the old one, it was like 14 something. So this all got upped. I'll go through every window right now, so if you're gonna change everything, you can kind of see how much I changed everything by. But basically, I just highlighted this whole thing. I put in like 1.15 here, and then I hit X, and it'll multiply everything, or it'll increase everything by 15%. So proportional drive, that's my table. Proportional park neutral, that's my table. Derivative drive, okay, that's still zeros. That's still zeros. I don't know why it says it changed. Show main file. Okay, they did. I'm sorry. Let me start over. Proportional drive, that's what it is. Park neutral, it's up to like 50 here, so just take a look. Derivative drive, yeah, like I said, I added values to all of this because they were all zeros before. Derivative park neutral, added values. Proportional drive, voila. Proportional park neutral, I gave it a nice smooth curve all along here. And that's all I changed as far as the tables. And then these values, you can see they're all 40 now. The old file was 36. I thought it was 33, but I guess I'm wrong. I'm showing the old values now just so you can see how much I changed it by. Park neutral. Derivative drive, they were all zeros. Park neutral were all zeros. Proportional had this. I smoothed this all out though. I don't like all these zeros. And then this table, like I said, they had a -4 and then the guy went to lunch. So I hope this helps you out. If it does, if you like the video, please subscribe to my channel or like, or both if possible. Next video I'll drive around and I'll show you kind of how the car drives now. And in the future, the next thing I'm going to do is fix the hot start problem. I have some ideas on what I can do to fix that. And then I have some parts I want to add that'll require a retune or some modification to my tune. So I'm going to be focusing on that. I'm not a tuner. I've read a lot of books, and I'm an electrical engineer by trade. So I have an idea of what the computer's trying to do. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe. Thanks.